Once upon a time, in a peaceful village surrounded by rolling hills and endless meadows, there lived a young girl named Alara. She was known for her kindness, her gentle smile, and her willingness to help others. Yet despite her warm heart, Alara often doubted herself. No matter how much her friends praised her, she believed she was ordinary, nothing more than a simple village girl with no special talents. Alara's village was home to many skilled craftsmen, strong warriors, and wise healers. Her best friend, Aaron, was an apprentice blacksmith, already forging blades strong enough for the village guards. Her neighbor, Mira, was training to become a healer, known for her gift with herbs. Alara admired them both, yet she often wondered what she could possibly offer. "I'm just me," she would whisper to herself at night. One day, news spread like wildfire across the village. A dreadful beast had appeared in the nearby forest. Travelers spoke of a shadowy creature that poisoned rivers, scorched fields, and terrified anyone who crossed its path. The village elder, a wise man named Oren, called upon the bravest souls to find and defeat the beast before it reached their home. Aaron immediately volunteered. "I'll forge a mighty sword and fight the beast," he declared proudly. Mira packed her healing herbs, ready to tend to the wounded. Even the hunters of the village prepared their bows. Alara, however, remained quiet. What could I possibly do? She thought. She couldn't wield a sword like Aaron or heal like Mira. She felt useless. The next morning, the group set off on their journey. Despite her doubts, Alara decided to follow them, hoping she could help somehow, even if it was just carrying supplies. The path to the forest was long, and the deeper they went, the darker the sky seemed to grow. Trees loomed overhead, their twisted branches blocking out the sun. Strange noises echoed from the shadows, and a heavy mist clung to the air. Suddenly, the group came upon a small clearing where they found a frightened child huddled beneath a tree. His clothes were torn, and he was too weak to speak. Mira quickly rushed to his side, but her herbs couldn't ease his pain. "He's been poisoned," Mira said grimly. "By the beast's venom. I don't have the right remedy." Everyone fell silent, unsure what to do. But Alara knelt beside the boy and examined the faint traces of a strange black plant clinging to his fingers. "I've seen this before," Alara said quietly. "It grows near the riverbanks. My grandmother once told me it's dangerous but curable if treated with golden root." "Golden root?" Mira asked. "That only grows in the northern glade, miles from here." "I can find it," Alara said, her voice steadier than before. Without waiting for approval, she darted into the trees. The forest seemed to close in around her, the shadows shifting with every step. Fear gnawed at her thoughts, but she kept moving, remembering the stories her grandmother once told. Stories about how goldenroot only grew in places where sunlight kissed the earth. Following her instincts, Alara searched for brighter patches in the forest until she finally found the precious goldenroot clinging to a patch of moss. With trembling hands, she gathered as much as she could and hurried back. Mira crushed the goldenroot into a paste and applied it to the boy's wounds. Hours passed, but eventually, the boy's breathing steadied and color returned to his face. "You saved him," Mira whispered to Alara, her eyes wide with admiration. Alara felt warmth bloom in her chest, a feeling she hadn't known before. But their journey wasn't over yet. The next morning, they finally reached the beast's lair, a jagged cave surrounded by scorched earth. Aaron drew his sword, and the hunters readied their bows. They charged into the cave, only to be met with a monstrous figure that seemed born from shadow itself. The beast's eyes glowed like burning coals, and its blackened claws lashed out with terrifying speed. Despite their courage, the warriors struggled. Aaron's blade barely scratched the creature's hide, and arrows bounced harmlessly off its scales. Desperation filled the air. Alara, frozen at the cave entrance, watched helplessly. Then her gaze fell on the cave walls. They were covered in the same poisonous black vines she had seen before. An idea sparked in her mind. "Wait," she shouted. "The beast's power is tied to those vines. They're feeding it." Without waiting for a response, Alara grabbed a torch from Aaron's pack and rushed to the wall. Flames licked at the twisted vines, and the moment they began to burn, the beast recoiled, roaring in pain. "It's working!" Aaron yelled. The others followed Alara's lead, burning the vines while the creature thrashed and weakened. With a final desperate strike, Aaron plunged his sword into the beast's chest, and it collapsed into a heap of ash. The village returned home victorious, and news of Alara's courage spread far and wide. The villagers who once overlooked her now celebrated her bravery. Even Oren, the wise elder, spoke of her as a hero. But the greatest change was within Alara herself. For the first time, she understood that courage wasn't about being the strongest or the most skilled. It was about believing in herself, in her instincts, her knowledge, and her heart. "You saved us," Aaron said to her one evening as they sat by the fire. "No," Alara replied with a smile. "I just stopped underestimating myself." From that day forward, Alara became the village's guide and problem solver, the one people turned to for wisdom, courage, and compassion. And though she never claimed to be extraordinary, the people knew better. Alara was the heart of their village, proof that even the quietest voices can carry the strongest power. The story highlights the importance of self-belief and recognizing our own potential. Alara constantly doubted herself because she didn't possess the obvious skills of her friends. She believed she was ordinary, yet when faced with challenges, her knowledge, quick thinking, and courage became vital in saving lives and defeating the beast. This teaches us that everyone has unique strengths, even if they aren't immediately visible. The story reminds us that self-doubt can often blind us to our true abilities. Alara thought she wasn't strong or skilled enough to make a difference. Yet her bravery, observation, and problem-solving ultimately saved her friends and the village. This demonstrates that strength isn't always physical. Wisdom, determination, and compassion are equally powerful. We often compare ourselves to others, feeling we lack value because we don't fit a certain image of success. However, true strength comes from understanding that we all have something special to offer. By believing in ourselves and stepping forward when needed, we can accomplish incredible things.